No?
Robert from Detroit.
And Robert from Detroit.
And a good fan of Anthony Bourdain. Miss him dearly.
Tanya from Kamloops, BC.
Tanya from Kamloops, BC. She struggles with her name. Stay incognito. What's your name? Where are you from?
Jeff from Kamloops.
Jeff from Kamloops.
Ken from Lactabani, Manitoba.
And Ken from Manitoba.
Go Jets!
Mark and Rita Clausen from Calgary, Alberta.
Okay, one at a time.
Yeah, one at a time.
Mark from
Calgary, Alberta.
Calgary.
Hey,
And
Rita
Rita.
from Calgary.
One at a time, please, for those who
Yep,
never come.
Stav from Calgary too.
Did you shovel snow?
I know, we were not part of that.
We were.
And we have
Carolyn from Calgary as well.
Carolyn.
Melissa from Windsor.
Melissa from Windsor.
Josh from Windsor as well.
All right.
Olivia from Windsor.
Aaron from Langley, British Columbia.
Aaron.
Woohoo!
BC.
How do you pronounce it? Aaron. Aaron. How do you spell? Aaron. Okay. From
Langley, British Columbia.
and Aaron from British Columbia.
I'm Dan from Abbotsford, BC.
And Dan from Abbotsford.
Paul from Brunel, BC.
And Paul from BC. Okay, is that everyone? Yes. The idea of this ceremony is to try to teach you all a little bit about Newfoundland. When all is said and done, you're going to be called honorary Newfoundlanders. I have paperwork to go with this. Do not lose this paperwork once you receive it. You can get into more places with this than you can most passports these days. As we are about to begin, I should first let you all know that I'm not the son of a fisherman or a lighthouse keeper. I don't eat fish 3 times a day, and I don't drink Screeched. At least not before noon on weekdays. I'm not the boy that built a boat. I'm not the boy that sailed her. But I got a boat with a fine Fort Cuddy, and it's got high top sails, and I painted it green, and it's the prettiest boat you've ever seen. I had a premier once, and his name was Brian Tobin, and he went to war with Spain over something called a turbot. I'm not quite sure what a turbot looks like, but I'll be damned if somebody from Spain is going to come take it away from me. I believe in parties, not raids. I believe in icebergs and blue stars, and that the puffin is a true, proud, and noble bird. Now, a scoff is a dance in Newfoundland. A blue star is also a beer, and it is pronounced Newfoundland, not Newfoundland or Newfoundland. Newfoundland is the oldest settlement in North America, the youngest province in Confederation, and the only rock you can party on. My name is Skipper Lukey, and I is a Newfoundlander. 95% of the original settlement here in Newfoundland came from 2 provinces of Ireland and 3 shires of England. We've managed to adopt a lot of their culture, history, traits, and a lot of their linguistics, but we actually managed to come up with our own language, and we call it Newfoundlandese. Now, the first 3 words that I want to introduce you to is what I call prog, puddock, and glutch. Prog is a Newfoundland word for food. It's for your puddock, your stomach, and you're going to glutch it back. It means you're going to eat it. This evening, your prog is what I call Newfoundland steak. It's actually maple leaf bologna from Toronto, Ontario. The reason why we call this Newfoundland steak is because years upon years ago, the kid that would have this on his sandwich would be considered the rich kid. The kid that would have lobster on his sandwich would be considered the poor kid, and that kid would be so poor that if he didn't wake up on Christmas morning with a heart on, he had nothing to play with. I do need everybody to take a small piece, just so you know that it's fit to be eaten. I actually prepared this for a famous chef out of Ontario last summer. Her name is Lynn Crawford. She has her own show on the Blue Network.
We know
And
her.
after she tasted this, she thought it was so good, she called me Chef Lukey. I'm going by Chef Lukey. Because of her. I do need everybody to take a small piece. Do not worry about it if you're vegetarian, there's no meat in this. We're gonna start with Kathleen.
Yeah.
And Robert.
Sir?
Tanya. Jeff.
I don't even remember your name though.
Ken.
Milky.
Mark. Rita.
Yes.
Stavros. Or Stav.
Thank you. That's good.
Caroline.
Thank you.
Tasty.
That's impressive.
Melissa. Josh.
I struggled with my own.
Olivia. Paul.
Now you gotta drink.
I was looking at it.
He went Paul for his stand.
What was my
And he
name?
says, no, it's not you.
Chef Luki.
Milky.
You got that right. Yeah.
All right. In 1497, there was a man by the name of John Cabot. His real name was Giovanni Caboto. He was an Italian
Yeah.
explorer. We know him as John Cabot because the English paid for his travels, and that's just how it had to be. In 1497, John Cabot sailed the Atlantic on his boat, the Matthew, all the way from Bristol, England to Bonavista Bay. And when he arrived, he saw lots of activity in our water. He didn't know what was going on, but he dropped his bucket down to fill it up with water, and when he came up to the top of the boat, it was filled right to the rim with codfish. Word got out fast how plentiful the fish were in our waters that they traveled from all over to settle here and to catch the fish, salt the fish, trade the fish all around the world as a means of survival. And one place in particular that we traded with was with Jamaica, because in Jamaica they make rum. And we love rum. We loved it so much we'd actually get that on the wharf and we would kiss the fish goodbye, knowing that it was coming back to us in the way of rum. So in keeping with that time and honor tradition, I have a
here
little
it
buddy for you to
comes.
meet. This right here is a real Newfoundland codfish. Given the chance, this fish could have grown to the height of 6 feet tall and weighed as much as 140 pounds. Wow. This fish will not grow any more than this because it's dead. It's frozen. And it fits perfectly in my freezer. The significance of this particular fish, why I love it so much, is that my 14-year-old daughter, Bella, she caught it about 8 weeks ago out in Bonavista Bay. We were out there for a little summer break.
She got skill.
And while she was out there watching all the other fish getting caught, getting gutted and filleted and losing their cheeks and their tongues to the restaurants, she wanted her fish, this fish, to become the most loved fish ever. To come out of the waters of Newfoundland, and I promised her I would make it. And I will do that by using it every day and until she catches me another one, and she's not scheduled to go out again until next July. I do need you all to pucker up and give this fish just a little kiss. Do not worry about anybody taking your picture or video doing so, because whatever happens here in St. John's today will probably be on Facebook or YouTube.
Fuck her up.
Don't worry if you don't get that perfect picture. I'll stick around after you.
You have to be on the list.
No, you can go for the sweet spot.
That was female, right?
Okay. Now, like I was saying, we used to trade our fish with the Jamaicans for their rum, and it was a very strong barrel rum. In fact, it was considered a test of a man. If he could drink this without screaming, passing out, or having a heart attack, he was considered a true man, or woman, or transgender. Screeched on the scene down on the south coast of our province, where one night we were serving up our hospitality to a U.S. captain, and he drank this shot and he yelled at a great big yell. And the sergeant came out running into the room and he said, "Who yelled out the god-awful screech?" And there was a Newfoundlander who was sitting at the bar that said, "Screeched, boy, 'tis the rum, me son." And that's how Screeched got its name.
Awesome.
So, I never got you to sign any waiver forms, so try not to get any on your skin. a drink without having a toast, so please wait till everybody gets their shot. And we will
All
do
good.
one together. Just so you know that it's fit to drink, this is actually a gold medal award from made by the Appleton family in Jamaica.
Yeah.
When we import it, it's actually a crystal clear overproof. We water it down in Newfoundland with our pristine Newfoundland water. We use caramel color and flavor to give it its hue. And we bottle 180,000 bottles of it every year. We export globally, but we consume most of it locally.
So it should be.
And
Oh my gosh, it's wrong.
for
Wait till it goes down.
some of you,
I'm not driving today,
She's been to Atlantic Schooners parties. It's
Oh.
all good.
but I never kissed the car.
Thank you.
I'd like to have a toast for some of you who may or may not have heard. I did actually have the honor of meeting and screeching in the late and great Anthony Bourdain. It was actually his anniversary of being at the bar was 2 days ago. And October the 3rd. While I was here, he had a wonderful time, and I had the opportunity after the ceremony, for those of you who were fans, to sit down next to him and have the honor of having a few beer with him. Just so you know, he was exactly the same person in person who he was on television. He was articulate, he was intelligent, he was jovial, he was the most incredible person I've ever met in my entire life. It's hard for me to understand why he did what he did, but it just goes to show that you really never know what's going on in people's heads.
Indeed.
I would like to dedicate my toast to him and say, here's to health and your company, and one for the lasses. Let's drink and be merry out of our glasses. Let's drink and be merry by thoughts to refrain, for we may or may not ever all be here again. Up the lips, over gums, look out, girl, there she comes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay,
That's awesome.
now, you're past the trees, but you're not out of the woods. Before I let you go, I have to teach you a small little phrase. Now, to give you an idea of our dialect here in Newfoundland, the shortest conversation you're ever going to hear between two people goes like this. Ern smern, nern. This is a full conversation. In order to understand it, though, you have to envision two fishing vessel captains crossing each other in the early morning gut. And one fishing vessel captain looks over at the other fishing vessel captain, and he says, Ern smern! And the translation is, did you catch any fish this morning? And the response, narn. Any idea what that might have meant?
No.
Close. It means, no, I didn't catch any fish this morning. Otherwise, he would have just said, no, we speak English. I'm trying to teach you something a little bit easier, and that's a-by. In Newfoundland, this is an expression that means I agree. You folks can use it in any situation when you're talking to someone from Newfoundland and you don't understand what they're saying because they're talking too fast or their lingo's too thick. Just agree with them. It's easier this way. If you ask them to repeat what they had just said, they will say it exactly the same way, and you still won't understand what they're saying. Example, okay? Someday, what? Hey, what? That means the weather's nice today. I agree. Now let's say you didn't understand what I was saying. That same conversation would have gone on like this. Someday, what? What? Someday, what? What? Someday, what? What? Man, it goes on forever. Now listen, it's not as easy to say as I make it out to be. It's not a boy. It's not I boy.
Hey, boy.
It's not I boy. You know it's wrong. We'll be wrong. It's not I boy. It's not I boy. It's not I bay. It's a boy. I'm gonna go around the room and see if everybody can say it one at a time. I know you've all had your little practice shots. As I come around, we're gonna start with Kathleen. A boy.
Anyway.
This is actually perfect. You got it right. And you're from the United States of America,
Yes, I
right?
am.
Yes, you are. Robert,
Hey, boy.
this is very good too.
Hey, boy.
No, this is wrong. It is not a boy, Tanya. It's a boy.
Hey, bye.
That's better.
Hey, bye.
Good.
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 Hey, bye.
Good. Good. Now that we have that, remember it and don't forget it because you will be tested again. Now we're going to go along to the graduate level phrase. So, when you go back home and they ask you when you went to Newfoundland, got screeched in, they're going to ask you, is you a screecher? There's only one proper response for that, and that is Deed I is me old cock and long may your big jib. Is you a screecher? The correct response was A.
Hey, boy.
1 minute ago, and I wanted to give you an immediate application. It's the same learning process that they use in Rosetta Stone. I will slow it down for you. I'm not talking too fast, you're thinking too slow, but we just had a big shot of rum. So, up along being the rest of Canada, you might say indeed I am, but in Newfoundland, we say deed I is. I need you all to say deed I is at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Deed I is.
Next part of the phrase is me old cock. Now, cock, what are you giggling for, Melissa? This is not. This is not grade 6 health class. Cock is a shortened form of the word cockney, which comes over from Old England, meaning my good friend or my good buddy. What you're saying is, yes, I am my good friend. You're going to say, deed I is me old cock at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Deed I is me old cock.
Not my old cock. My old cock means something different. The phrase is, and long may your big jib drop. You see, the jib is the foresail in the schooner, so as long as it's drawing wind, you're doing good. It's a wish for good luck. What you're saying is, yes, I am my good friend, and I wish you good luck. You're going to say, deed I is me old cock, and long may your big jib draw. Got it?
Long may your big
Did you
jib
actually
draw.
just say what? Who said that?
It was this guy.
Once again, the correct response is A-bar. I'm going to say, you're going to say, we'll get through it in 3 simple segments, okay? I say it, you say it, okay? Say, deed I is.
Deed I is.
Me old cock.
Me old cock.
And long may your big jib draw.
And long may your big jib draw.
Now declare you all honorary Newfoundlanders. Now, I have certificates for everybody. Before I pass them out, I have one final rant that I would like to share with you all. These are a few important facts about Newfoundland. They're all true. Please remember them. Share them whenever possible, for fear that someday they're forgotten. Newfoundland was the first province to respond to the Titanic distress signal. It was 106 years ago last April, and at the time Newfoundland was its own country. Now as we stand unified with Canada, we're the first province to respond. Newfoundland was the first place to discover proof of the theory of the continental drift. We're the first to host a transatlantic flight, and we're the first to have wireless communication in the entire world. We're the oldest rock in the world. This is the oldest city in North America. Water Street is the oldest street in North America. And the Royal St. John's Regatta, which happens on the first Wednesday of August every year, depending on the weather, is the oldest continuous sporting event in North America. We are considered the most generous people in all of the entire country. We're the funniest people in all the entire country. We're the sexiest people. There's another opportunity to say hey bye.
Hey,
According to Maclean's magazine, we're also the most sexually active. Newfoundlander invented the world's first artificial ice arena. A Newfoundlander invented the gas mask. A Newfoundlander was once a governor in northern Rhodesia, Zimbabwe, and there was a Newfoundlander with Abraham Lincoln at Gettysburg. We are the only place in the entire world to have 4 identifiable flags. We have our own encyclopedia, our own dictionary, our own pony, our own dogs, and our own cultural publication, the good old Newfoundland Herald. Your own pony? Paul, Dan, Aaron, Olivia, Josh, Melissa, Carolyn, Stavros, Rita, Mark, Ken, Jeff, Tanya, Robert, Kathleen, welcome.
We'll rant and we'll roar like true Newfoundlanders. We'll rant and we'll roar on deck and below. But until we strike bottom inside the 2 suckers, wading straight through the channel.
That's fantastic. Thank you. I got screeched in.
I do. You're not. No. I'm getting confused. You went That's a good test.
I can handle a chicken like comes to my finger. Whenever I get sick of standing blue, we'll attend the Lord like children of Homelanders. We'll attend the Lord, I'm never we'll know until we strike bottom inside.
I have a picture.